So do I think Bronny belong in the league? Hell no. He ain't that good. He ain't even that good to be playing overseas against them overseas players.
Do that with nobody else.
I feel you.
If this was not LeBron James' son, the Lakers would not take the time to build with him and invest the time and the resources that they're doing if this was LeBron James' son.
Yeah.
They're only doing this out of nepotism.
So do I think Bronny belong in the league? Hell no. He ain't that good. He ain't even that good to be playing overseas against them overseas players. Bronny need to be a high school assistant basketball coach or a PE teacher somewhere. But he ain't good enough to play no more.
JJ Redick was caught yelling from the sideline, tension spilling out in real time. A G League coach physically guided him toward the tunnel until he finally walked off, right in the middle of the game. Stephen A. Smith publicly said he wasn't ready. And moments later, LeBron James stepped in face-to-face, courtside, cameras rolling, nowhere to hide. This is Bronny James. And that clip didn't just trend, it exploded across the internet. Let's slow this down and really unpack it, because moments like this go far beyond basketball. This is about pressure, expectations, and reality colliding. Every once in a while, sports delivers a moment that cuts through everything else. Not highlights. Not stats. Just raw tension you can feel through the screen. This was one of those moments, unfiltered, uncontrolled, pure friction between chasing greatness and carrying a last name that weighs a ton. And here's the question everyone keeps circling, whether they want to admit it or not: is Bronny James actually ready for this level right now? This moment hit so hard because of context. Bronny was selected by the Los Angeles Lakers with the 55th overall pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, a move that instantly ignited debate everywhere. Even deep into 2025, that pick is still argued about daily, because this was never just a basketball decision in the public eye. Bronny entered the league carrying something no other rookie has carried quite like this. He's not just a player, he's a symbol. A symbol of legacy, expectation, access, and everything people argue about when it comes to opportunity in professional sports. And when you look at the numbers, they're rough. By late 2025, Bronny had appeared in just 10 NBA games, averaging about 2 points and 1 assist, shooting under 30% from the field and under 28% from three. Numbers like that make critics lean forward and ask uncomfortable questions. This league has no mercy. There's no patience, no grace period, no hiding behind potential when results are demanded nightly. But then the story really detonates. Bronny signed a 4-year, $7.9 million fully guaranteed contract. For a late second-round pick, that kind of security is extremely rare, and everyone knows it. That detail alone poured gasoline on an already raging fire. Because now this isn't just about development. It's about fairness, expectations, and whether the pressure surrounding Bronny is helping him grow or forcing him to survive moments he's not ready for.
Fair, no. But life ain't fair, young people. Homie, sometimes you can work hard and not go nowhere in life. Sometimes you can do everything right, work hard.
Up in regards to the nepotism, because I don't want to hear it either, and I really appreciate and applaud you for bringing it up, because you hear people mumbling about that in the weeks and the days leading up to the draft. It is something that has permeated throughout the NBA for quite some time, okay? And on all levels, and no one has said anything. It's never been an issue that I can...
Most players drafted in that range land on two-way contracts with almost no safety net, limited guarantees, short leashes, constant pressure to prove themselves every night. That level of money and security paired with those numbers simply doesn't happen in this league, unless your last name already opens doors. And that's where the conversation really heats up. Reports surfaced that Rich Paul, LeBron's longtime agent and the head of Clutch Sports, warned teams against drafting Bronny. According to those reports, teams were allegedly told that if Bronny wasn't selected where certain people wanted, he might take his talents overseas instead of entering the NBA immediately. Whether you see that as strategy or leverage, the result was clear. The situation funneled Bronny straight to the Lakers, aligning perfectly with LeBron's long-stated dream of playing alongside his son. For some fans, that was a beautiful full-circle moment. For others, it felt like the league bending in real time. And that brings us to the footage that completely hijacked the internet. During a Lakers game, head coach JJ Redick was caught on camera going off from the sideline. The frustration was obvious. This wasn't subtle coaching, it was raw emotion, captured in 4K. The moment reportedly came after Bronny passed up a wide-open jumper. In basketball terms, that's a major no-no, especially in an offense built around the 0.5 rule: shoot, pass, or drive within half a second. Reports say Redick shouted, "You've got to shoot the ball." In that game, Bronny played 10 minutes and took just 2 shots. 2 shots in 10 minutes. That kind of hesitation is rare at this level. Players fighting for minutes usually do the opposite, they force the issue. The clip spread instantly. Views skyrocketed. Memes flooded timelines. Hot takes poured in. Some defended Redick, saying he was doing his job and holding Bronny to the same standard as everyone else. Others argued that publicly going at a 21-year-old already under a microscope only adds more pressure. Then Charleston White jumped in and boiled the entire debate down to one brutal line: he didn't earn it.
I talked about Bronny James early in the season, and I highlighted the fact that at that particular moment in time, he simply was not ready. I was calling out LeBron James. LeBron James never addresses that with anybody, and for some reason, no one ever asked him about that. Wasn't it you who said that Bronny James was better than some players in the NBA right now before he was even drafted? Wasn't it you who said, if you want me, draft my son because you wanted to play with your son for 1 year? Wasn't it you who literally circumvented meritocracy within the National Basketball Association? He's lying when he says that I attacked his son. When he came up to me courtside at the Lakers-Knicks game, he was lying then. He threw me off guard because he said, you can't be pooping on my son.
Bronny's freshman season at USC, by any honest standard, was underwhelming. He averaged under 5 points, fewer than 3 rebounds, and about 3 assists while shooting roughly 36% from the field across 25 games. For a one-and-done prospect, those numbers usually mean one thing: undrafted. End of discussion. That's how this league normally works. But that's not how this played out, and everyone knows why. After the Redick blow-up, Bronny faced reporters and handled it with surprising calm. No excuses. No finger-pointing. He credited tough coaching and explained he was focused on playing off the ball, admitting he needed to shoot when open. That response sounded mature and measured. And for a moment, the numbers backed it up. After returning to the G League on November 22, 2025, Bronny delivered his best performance of the season: 15 points on efficient shooting, 8 assists, 4 rebounds, and 3 steals in a win over Santa Cruz. For a brief window, momentum seemed to shift. But it didn't last. In December 2025, another clip surfaced, this one far more damaging. During a South Bay Lakers G League game, Bronny got into a heated exchange with a coach over decision-making and a slow start. The argument escalated, and then came the moment that stunned everyone: Bronny walked off the court mid-exchange. The video went viral instantly. That night's stat line didn't help: 10 points on inefficient shooting, 0 made threes, multiple turnovers. Not exactly the leverage you want in a confrontation with a coach. To be clear, there was no physical altercation. This wasn't a fight, it was verbal. But once the footage went public, the conversation around Bronny shifted hard. Social media erupted. Some fans praised the coaching, calling it accountability. Others said the spotlight was already crushing and moments like this only pile on more stress.
The airways, you can't be doing that. I didn't know what he was talking about, so it threw me off. Had he came up to me and said, what the hell are you doing talking about me as a father? I would say it's because of what you were doing with your son on the basketball court for public.
LeBron. The only reason he's in the NBA because he's LeBron's son. Nepotism, brother. Stephen A. got the right to say that. You can't get mad at me about my opinion.
That's the real tragedy here. The young man trying to find his way in the...
Earning his stripes and participating against that lesser competition and busting there, you know what, to show that he deserves to be in the NBA. Because even though people are gonna hate no matter what, the legitimacy of their arguments are gonna dissipate drastically once you continue to show out like that. Once you continue to show that you belong like you started showing last night. Congratulations to Bronny James, but keep it up. It's a marathon, baby. It ain't a...
Former players jumped in. Kwame Brown said Bronny's NBA spot exists only because of LeBron. Chandler Parsons called the pick embarrassing nepotism. Those words stuck. And this is where it stopped being about missed shots and tough coaching. The nepotism debate moved front and center, and it refuses to die. But here's the part nobody wants to slow down and examine: there's another side. Some argue this is exactly what any good father would do: open doors, protect your kid, give them a chance. That argument has gained real traction. Adrian Wojnarowski brushed off the outrage, pointing out that the NBA has been built on nepotism for decades: ownership, front offices, coaching staffs. He's not wrong. The Buss family. The Colangelos. The Kroenkes. The league is full of powerful last names. Always has been. Some commentators even framed the Bronny situation as black nepotism being judged more harshly than white dynasties that operated quietly for generations. That idea made a lot of people uncomfortable. But one voice cut through the noise: Stephen A. Smith. After being confronted courtside by LeBron and later responding publicly, Stephen A. went on an absolute tear, defending his stance with zero filter. The back and forth became one of the most intense media feuds of the year.
Not rolling the dice, there was not enough data on it. It's like you have a cardiac arrest, it is over. We don't want this on our resume. They was not going back to perform the play. And he told me, he was like, man, I'm gonna be honest, it took me about 2.5 years to finally get back to just normalcy. Like my body, my mind, and he said when it happened to me, I was 23 years old. Bronny was 19 years old, and he said it's gonna take a little time, and I reason with that, but also he's doing things right now less than 2 years.
Yeah. I ain't perfect, and I'm one of the first to point out his imperfections on the basketball court, of course, nowhere else. But let me tell you something. He's an all-time great. He's never cheated the game. And that brother works his tail off to improve all the time. Emulate Pops to the best of your ability, and you'll be just...
LeBron didn't help matters either. He famously said Bronny was better than half the guys on League Pass before Bronny was even drafted. That statement aged terribly, and critics won't let it go. Now everything Bronny does feeds the same debate. Every missed shot, every sideline clip. Does he deserve this spot? Maybe that's the real problem, a young player trying to find himself in the most unforgiving league on earth while the conversation never leaves his last name. So where does that leave Bronny? Where does it leave the Lakers? And where does it leave fans so locked into drama they can barely see development anymore? By January 2026, Bronny had played 45 total games across the NBA and G League, averaging under 2 points with poor shooting splits and a negative net rating. Those numbers are rough. No sugarcoating it. But they don't tell the whole story. There have been flashes. On December 31, 2025, Bronny dropped 20 points on efficient shooting with 7 assists in the G League. That's the kind of night that makes coaches pause. His strengths are becoming clearer: defensive instincts, athleticism, transition playmaking. His weaknesses are just as obvious: shooting inconsistency, decision-making, being undersized. And context matters. In 2023, Bronny suffered a serious cardiac event that required surgery and sidelined him for months. That's not a small setback for a teenager. That's life-altering. Bronny has said the nepotism talk fuels him. And maybe that matters more than any stat line. Despite all the noise, the Lakers have stayed patient. No cuts. No panic. Sitting at 25-20, they're clearly playing the long game.